Oh no.
Missing.
Greg?
Missing.
I thought this was a duet.
Missing.
Oh, so you're just gonna sing all the parts? Those are not the right sounds. Can you hear me? Bonk. Welcome to Miss Thing.
I'm Greg.
And I'm Tim, and this is a podcast that celebrates and appreciates the Miss Things of the past, present, and future.
Yeah, in every episode, we take a key moment from our Miss Thing storied career and do what you and I are most skilled at, which is make it all about us.
I feel like we were doing a staring contest during that.
We really were. The eye contact was very uncomfortable.
It was, I don't know, it was a new thing, but we were just locked in.
Yeah, and I wasn't sipping because sometimes I sort of rush to sip.
Yeah.
So I was it was a game of chicken.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to bring into 2025, uncomfortable eye contact in sort of every conversation. Yeah, a game of chicken.
I was in a hot tub this weekend because I was in Joshua Tree. And
I was noting the shrivel marks.
Thank you. Well, the other side effect of this hot tub, and I hope it's a side effect of the hot tub because I don't know what else it could have been.
Oh, no.
I now have like literal bug bites all over my armpits, both armpits. I don't know if they're bug bites, but it's like a rash that looks like I have like the hot, like chicken pox just on my armpits.
Oh no.
Very painful. I should go to a doctor.
Totally.
In fact, and probably after this pod, I will. I will set up an appointment.
After, of course, it's highly allergic, and I am being exposed
Well,
as
it's
usual.
just in my armpits. So unless you get in there, which nary a man has tried. But it is kind of like scary where you're like, how could this happen to me? Like, what point were where were my armpits exposed? Because it's very cold in Joshua Tree. It's like 50 degrees.
Yeah.
LOL, everyone outside of Los Angeles is like very cold.
Well, you have no idea how bone chilling that is.
Yes.
The wind just gusting through you.
And I'm like, so it's like these pits were not exposed. They were never exposed to the outside elements except for maybe whatever was in that hot tub.
Mm-hmm. Or did you catch something in the park?
No, but because I was like wearing like 5 layers.
It's so alien out there. You never know.
Yeah.
And maybe they burrow into the pits.
Yeah,
with all these drones and everything, you just who knows
it's just like,
what got in there.
Honestly, like hats off to whatever alien burrowed through all those layers to just get to the pits. Little kinky alien.
So kinky. But they knew they'd go where no one else would find them.
They were like, this is unexplored territory. No one has ever touched this part of his body.
And where no one else would dare to look.
And then they just died immediately. That's actually like a mass grave site at both of my armpits.
Yeah, they made the wrong choice. They couldn't even reproduce in there. It was just way too toxic. Well, anyway, sending love and light.
Yeah.
Really hope I'm not sort of, getting...
You'll have it. Next week, we'll have your update on your pits.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of updates, should we check in on our butts here in early 2025?
It's bleak.
Yeah.
Mine is I have not been going to the gym as regularly because of the holidays. Shocker.
It's getting to be mid-January at this point.
I know, and then you get off the routine, the rhythm.
Yeah, and it's January at the gym. I mean, imagine it's like the worst time to be anywhere.
It is. Yeah, going to the gym is like a nightmare right now because you just won't be able to even like get your way in there. It's so packed.
All unfamiliar faces.
Yeah.
You got to wait till February. This is the dead zone.
That's how it works. And then you go to February like, well, it's already February. I might as well just wait till it's March, because it's like it's still cold, still dark. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, the other thing we need to talk about, and I feel like we're just hopping all over the place.
Well, let's do it.
Oh, wait, no, but how's your butt? I didn't even ask you.
Oh, my butt, I think it's in a bit of stasis right now.
Okay.
It's not worse, it's not better.
Okay.
I'm getting back into my workout routine. I'm not totally there. I need a new one for 2025 because definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over. And when I tell you I haven't given myself the opportunity to do a new workout in a while. Yeah, that's where I'm at. But I think it's in a bit of stasis right now. You know, it's not worse, it's not better. I'm getting back into my workout routine. I'm not totally there. I need a new one for 2025 because definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over. And when I tell you I haven't given myself the opportunity to do a new workout in a while. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Look, age is not on my side, so I'm going to have to keep working harder and harder. But yeah, I have high hopes. Will my butt be as high as my hopes? Remains to be seen. But yes, we should discuss, the Golden Globes were this past weekend.
Golden Globes, I love an award show. You know this about me.
Yeah.
The highlights for me, just quickly, is obviously Demi Moore winning.
Demi Moore, you will always be famous. Yeah. Some actual justice in this world.
Yeah, and great speech.
Yep. Incredible speech. Totally her moment. Totally deserved.
She does a hair flip when she gets on the stage, which is kind of like, is there anything more missing than that?
Galinda Whomst.
Yeah. And that video of her, did you see the video of her dancing to like Push It or something?
Oh, yes. She is fab.
So good.
I did also see the video. Have you seen when she was saying hello to Elle Fanning and Timothée Chalamet and sort of not Kylie Jenner, which sending so many condolences your way.
I know. To Kylie.
To Kylie, of course. Yes.
My other highlight is Kendall Roy's outfit.
Sure. That is unfortunately something I think I would wear.
What's his real name? You guys know.
Jeremy Strong.
German.
Okay.
Germanata, Stephanie.
Sure.
Yes. That outfit is one for the ages. And it is something that you would wear.
Absolutely. Yeah. Also something I would wear Elle Fanning's outfit with the leopard, sort of, let's call it a breastplate. I loved that.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the same boat as you. Demi winning, there is justice in the world, and I'm very curious to see how that translates into an Oscar.
Yeah. And the other thing that we would be remiss if we didn't point out, which is that Cynthia did not win.
Sure.
Which is like, that is the one thing that we, even though we're happy for Demi, we wish that there was some sort of tie that happened.
Of course.
For our girl.
Yeah. Holding out hope for good.
Oh, right. And the original songs. A lot. Right. Yeah, that's going to be good.
Yeah. I think this year was maybe a little rough in that department.
What do you mean?
The original songs
went right
to El Mal Emilia.
Yeah, that is insane that won Best Original Song.
And of course, I'd be remiss to not mention my favorite moment of the night, which was Sharon Stone. I'm trying to pronounce Emilia.
Anyways, Greg, do you have a Dad Mom sauce? And also, can you tell our listeners, our Gennifertias, what Dad Mom sauce is?
Oh, of course. Well, Dad Mom sauce is short for Doll of the Day, Mother of the Moment, Sister of the Second, which is our famous first segment of this show where we talk about the person, place, or thing that we are currently most obsessed with. And boy, do I ever have a Dad Mom sauce.
Okay, get into it.
So I didn't really get the opportunity to talk about... I was in New York over the holidays. New York, New Jersey, Bridge and Tunnel, as I grew up that way. But I had the opportunity to see...
He grew up in a tunnel. Under a bridge.
So I had the opportunity to see 2 Broadway shows when I was there. Very unexpected shows. I wanted to see 4, but I ended up seeing 2. The
4? Oh my gosh.
Well, there's a lot on Broadway right now.
But just like that money. Yeah.
I know. Well, I know how to get sort of cheaper tickets, or I know how to like work the general rush and all that. I can't do student rush anymore. Yeah. Even though I still look like a student, thank you so much.
Okay, you're gonna have to tell me this for the next time I go.
Definitely, I will. But I ended up seeing Oh Mary.
Okay.
And which was great, very funny. Really hard to get a ticket to, and I didn't think I was going to, but I was able to see it before Cole left. Really, really funny.
Yeah.
But my Dad Mom sauce is the musical Death Becomes Her.
One of the best movies of all time.
One of the greatest movies of all time. I was able to get last minute tickets to a matinee because I was supposed to see another show that night, which I will get into in a moment. But it was Death Becomes Her. So funny, music so good, staging so good. It's really expensive. The stagecraft is amazing. I was really blown away by how great this show is. Megan Hilty, Gennifer Zs, I think her name is, Christopher Siebert. It actually sounds like I'm kind of like making up names. Fefe Dobson. No, she wasn't in that. I wish. Michelle Williams.
I know. So the opening night Beyonce was there.
And honestly, it's a show worthy of an opening night with Beyonce.
Wow.
I cannot recommend it enough. Like the scenes when she falls down the stairs, like you get that all on stage, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
And it's so like crass.
Yeah.
It gives the gays everything they want.
Okay.
I couldn't recommend it more.
It's funny because like I didn't really have an urge to see it. And you even sent me like a clip that I was not sold on. Oh, but now I'm getting more sold on it.
I swear, I think it's going to win Best Musical this year.
Okay. Are there any good new musicals?
I don't know, because everything right now is revival. So I was supposed to see Gypsy that night, and thankfully, Gypsy with Audra McDonald. Thankfully, I was able to get a matinee ticket to Death Becomes Her, not knowing that Gypsy would be canceled that night last minute.
Oh, so you were going to do a double header.
I was going to do a double header. I was really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And then, we got to the theater. They let us know then. Couldn't run across the street and go get tickets to Sunset Boulevard, which I also wanted to see. So that night didn't happen, but I was so glad to see Death Becomes Her. Yeah.
Anyways.
So Tim, do you have a Dod Mom sauce?
Boy, do I ever. Which is, I am currently obsessed with Anthony's Aunt Terry. This woman is a Dod Mom sauce if there's ever been a Dod Mom sauce.
I mean, an Aunt Terry.
Yeah.
There's
enough said.
Exactly. I see her. I know her. I want to be her friend.
This, first off, just based off of the name alone, he was like, do you want to go to lunch with Aunt Terry? And I was like, absolutely. And then from minute one, this woman is so hysterical, making me laugh.
Terry, short for nothing. Short for Terry.
For Terrence. Yeah. But she, within, I want to say the first 20 minutes of meeting her, she sharts.
Well, it's enough to love a person right off the bat. That brings you to our level.
Well, she starts going in on how her and her husband, who was also there, have a gold digger clause in their contract.
Okay, in their contract,
or what is it called? In their
Prenup?
will. In their will. In their will.
Okay,
which is
we're listing off all the legal documents.
I know, I'm like, which is that if she is the one who passes away first, which she's confident she won't. I feel like she said, but she's like, but if. But she said that God forbid if she goes first, they've put in the will a gold digger clause, which means that if they've been married for like 40 years, they like got married at 19, one of those couples.
So they're playing the long game in terms of gold digging.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And she said that if she dies and he remarries, there's a contract which is like he cannot live above his means with the new wife.
Interesting.
And this is the gold digger clause, which is that like you can't.
Our new show.
Yeah, the gold digger clause.
Coming soon to CBS.
I mean, it's riveting where it's basically like, so like she was saying like, I was like, okay, so what is an example? And she was like, so, we have like a minivan. So if he were to get like a Tesla, that's living above his means and not what the like precedent we have set while we were together. So then the kids can veto. There's veto power with the kids.
The children have veto power.
The children have
They're
veto
like a
power.
mini Senate.
So he can get married, but if they start, and then, so as is happening though, then the husband's also like, so we got to start taking our trips to Italy now.
Yeah.
So that he wants to up
up the average.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And so already I'm kind of like, okay, this woman, I'm stealing that.
For our show.
Exactly.
Which you refused to write with me.
Gold digger clause for the pod, too.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
If you
need to sign
Final
it.
Destination, Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways. And then, but the actual reason, so when we went she took us to dim sum.
Okay.
Recently. And
where'd you go?
we went to Alhambra.
Oh, Alhambra. Oh, you
it's like
really went to dim sum.
Yeah, and we went to the famous place that I've been to now twice, and people talk about, and I can't remember the name of it.
Din Tai Fung?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, there's one in Glendale right by my
Oh,
house.
okay.
It took 2.5 hours to get in the other night, but at least you could put your name on the wait list online.
Oh,
now.
you went recently too?
We went at the New Year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so,
You're supposed to eat dumplings.
well, Terry, there's no wait for Terry.
Okay.
So we got right in there.
Sure.
And anyways, at the very end, very sweetly, I've only met her a couple times. She gave me a Christmas gift. And this Christmas gift, now I want to say right here, live on pod, that people tend to think that this is not a good Christmas gift. And I'm out here saying that I think it's an excellent Christmas gift, which is
socks.
She gave me socks.
Wait, what? Wait, sorry, I didn't mean to fucking bust your story.
No, but I'm like, you are proving my point, which is people think that that's a bad gift.
I would be thrilled.
So she gave me like one really nice set of like thick winter socks that are so soft that you never would buy yourself, but you like think about like, oh, I really wish I had on this cold winter night a fresh new pair of thick warm socks.
That is such a nice gift. People have been misled.
Yeah.
They're in their brains. Socks are the moist of gift giving.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks, oh, my least favorite word, moist. It's disgusting. Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, that's the thing. It's like the famous thing. It's like the McDonald's of saying that.
Yeah, exactly. Be original.
Yeah. It's like gifts. Okay, socks. Yeah. I got socks. That sucks. I would be thrilled.
Great. Yeah.
You know how many parties I've showed up to with holes in my socks last year alone. Parties where our contemporaries, people who I want to respect me, I'm in their face with my holy socks. What I wouldn't give for Aunt Terry. Yeah, what I wouldn't give.
And this is what I was like, and I think that people, Gennifertias, if the next time you need to give someone a gift, give them a nice pair of socks, because you don't necessarily treat yourself to that. And sometimes you're like, I'm not going to pay like $30 for a pair of socks.
Retrain your brain. And
then it's like,
give the socks.
Give the gift, because you will be at a store and you won't give it to yourself. And it's give the gift to yourself, but also give it to your loved ones. So thank you, Aunt Terry.
Yeah. Aunt Terry is paving the way. She's out here boldly giving socks.
Yeah.
In a world that thinks giving socks is
also
not the greatest gift ever.
Another thing that makes these socks great is they also had very light, and it wasn't like traction or whatever on the bottom. So like if you're out here walking on your wood floors, you don't slip, because they're very like fuzzy, soft socks, but then they've got a little bit of traction.
With the grip.
Wow. So I wish everyone an Aunt Terry in their life.
Same. I need to go to Din Tai Fung with Aunt Terry.
Yeah, no wait.
And I mean, my birthday is coming up, so.
Oh, in a couple months.
Yeah.
I'll let her know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And with that, should we take a break?
Let's. We're back, and it's time to get into our Miss Thing of the Week.
This one is very relevant and very sad, because she is currently leaving, and she is an institution.
She gets us up in the morning. Yeah. She
puts a smile on our damn faces.
America's Aunt Terry.
Yes. Oh my God, I got so happy with that. Yeah.
And our Miss Thing of the Week is HODA KOTB.
Now, we still get nervous saying her name.
Sure.
This woman, first off, is a trailblazer, because she was born to Egyptian parents, has like a Muslim background, and has like broken all these barriers in the daytime world, risen the ranks to be not just the host of 1 hour of Today, but 2 hours of Today.
2 hours of Today at this point. I remember the fourth hour.
And then all of a sudden they bumped her up, because she's that damn good, to main co-anchor. The first all-female co-anchor of today.
Wow. Okay, Wikipedia, the house down boots.
Well, I also love her, as you know. And I think this is very
so
just us because I think of us as I'm Hoda and you're Kathy Lee.
Kathy Lee.
Yeah.
And we are so behind the times because that was how many years ago?
I know,
and yet
but
we're
it's just
still
like
serving.
It's just, some things are timeless.
We're kooky middle-aged ladies at heart and kind of in age.
My favorite example of someone who can laugh and cry at the same time.
Totally.
No one goes quicker into both of those emotions like Hoda.
Totally. Yeah, she's definitely she loves to laugh. Known for her laugh.
And right after she laughs, she's crying. Yeah. and then also, a lot of times she starts crying very easily and then goes right into laughter.
Yeah, almost an unhinged vibe to bring to your early morning, which makes, in this case, me the Hoda.
Oh, right. And I'm just Kathy Lee swishing and sloshing.
Sort of laughing in the corner, not really paying attention.
Yes.
Yeah, Hoda to me is also so interesting because she's so she lives in New York, but she's to me the most suburban mom. But yet she has the most fabulous job. She's literally could live in Ohio, and yet she probably lives in this insane Upper East Side full townhouse, and yet she's also she goes to Serendipity 3 because she loves the vibe and the drinks. She's so Magnolia Bakery still.
That's why she's leaving, actually. You clocked her correctly because she just wants to live that minivan life.
Yeah, she's so
I think New Jersey, your home state.
That makes sense.
Yes. And so she's just and then she's starting a wellness company.
Love that.
Which is just so what we're eventually going to go into.
Of course, wellness. It's so live, laugh, love, though. Because she is such a type of person that single-handedly contributed to the live, laugh, lovification of New York City.
Yeah. And also, that's another sort of moist sort of area where people don't give it, we all love to live. We all love to laugh. And we all, what's the third one?
Love to love.
We all love to love.
And we all love to put, word art up in our bathrooms.
Yes. And Greg actually has a bumper sticker of live, laugh, love.
Sure. I love that. I love that. I figured, actually, I was thinking now would be sort of a perfect opportunity for her to also leave and work on her new sitcom, Corn on the Kotb. Which I would love to develop with her. What do you think Corn on the Kotb would be about?
I actually don't think it would be a sitcom. I think it would be an HGTV, how to make corn on the cob. And she's just doing she's literally spending an hour just buttering the corn, but she actually never actually gets to grilling it. She's just kind of talking and laughing and getting drunk.
Sure, she's telling stories while she's buttering corn, never getting to the corn. Okay, interesting. Yeah. I'm going to go sitcom route. I do think it's big city anchor HODA KOTB finds out she's inherited a corn farm. A field of corn somewhere in the country. So she's leaving her big city job behind to go take care of the family corn farm, which she just found out about. Yeah. But she needs to, tend to the family business.
Well, this is a brilliant idea, and we should write this for her because she now has a lot of time, and also she is she's very Reba in that regard, where it's the middle of the country and the coast. Love her. So let's get this on ABC.
Or NBC. NBC, or are you listening? Or CBS.
Or even Fox.
Well, Fox would be more okay, if it was for Fox, it would be a single cam about HODA KOTB, still the famous anchor, leaving her job, going to her hometown, wherever that was, putting on a performance of Shucked, which was her lifelong goal of doing a local performance of Shucked. Fox? That she's directing. There's a bit of a mockumentary aspect to it, but I think that would kind of fall apart episode 2 or 3. It would kind of go away.
I also feel somehow she's being chased by the cops if it's on Fox. There's some sort of shaky camera footage that they're trying to get her on some charge because she stole corn.
Totally. And there's music in it, Glee style. None of the music from Shucked, we couldn't get it cleared. Anyways, also, I have a very important question for you. Would you ever adapt to HODA KOTB's schedule, her sleep schedule, for the money. Do you know
What's
what time?
the money?
Guess.
$1 million a year?
As of 2018, 7 million.
A
7
year.
million a year.
Okay.
Could you adapt the 3 a.m. sleep schedule?
I don't.
For 7
I
million.
mean, I am famously someone who always sleeps in. So, but actually, I think I would, because it's like, honestly, my lifelong dream is to be a morning person. Famously, I've said this here on the pod, which is that I would be the first one to like the easiest person to get into a cult, because apparently, like when you watch the Nixium documentaries, like the way in is like a lifestyle, self-help class that starts with, do you want to be a morning person naturally? And then everyone raises their hands, and that is so me vibes, which is like, I want to naturally be a morning person. And so if you pay me $7 million to become a morning person, then it's like win-win.
Yeah.
Would you?
I think I could do that.
Yeah,
I think
you
I could pull
very
that off.
easily do it.
I would like to negotiate up to 10.
Oh, okay.
I would. You know, I did learn. And this, by the way, this is all from the Google, the new AI that sort of summarizes it and puts it at the top. So I don't know if any of it's accurate. But I did hear that Matt Lauer was making 25 million.
Yeah.
Which makes me upset
What
for her. But I would also take that. I would definitely do it for that.
Yeah. I mean, and also that is, LOL, a job, but that's 5 days a week. It's not just like once or twice. It is all the time. And also, like, if you're traveling. But that's the other thing. You get to travel. That's what I love.
You get to travel. Totally. You get to go to the Olympics. You get to sing the wrong lyrics to Celine Dion.
Well, I'm going to take that and make it all about myself, because that's a great segue.
All right.
And we've clearly been talking about HODA way too long.
Sort of teed you up there.
Which is when I think of HODA, I think of so many of her Olympic adventures. You know, she is one of the most memorable parts of watching the Olympics.
Sure.
And she did the Rio Olympics in 2016, I believe.
Of course, I remember every minute.
You couldn't sleep at night unless you saw a little bit of HODA before bed.
I was watching, the live feeds from Rio. You know.
Exactly. And I was in Rio a couple years ago, as we've mentioned before.
Not for anything athletic.
No. And I was there. I was going to be there for a while. I was traveling for a couple months. And at a certain point, I was meeting friend of the pod, Claude, in Rio.
Sure.
And people may know, but I am not someone who lives large while traveling, especially because I go for a long period of time. I can't afford to stay in nice hotels for that many months.
Yeah, nor do you choose to.
Nor do I choose to,
cheap
hostels, basically. Yeah. And whereas Claude, on the other hand, has got 4-star taste.
Right.
So it was like a battle of trying to figure out how we were going to make this work. And I was like, Claude, I literally just can't swing like nice hotels, because I'm going to be traveling for months afterwards, and this is like I have to budget to make it work. You know?
Some people have to do that.
I'm a budget queen, okay? And so we went on this week trip throughout Rio and a couple of the islands, and at the end he was like, "Can we please stay at a nice hotel for one night, Tim?"
Sure. Yeah.
And so I was like, "Fine, we can stay at a nice hotel."
Dragging your feet.
Truly. And I even think I can't remember what the price was. It was expensive. But I was like, you know what? It will be nice. We've been kind of roughing it out in these, like, where we're staying in these like tiny twin beds, like, but we were staying on an island where it was like kind of cabin vibes, you know? Like rickety but cute and like had character. Okay. Claude was hating it. I was loving it.
Yeah, literally how you describe me. Rickety but cute with character.
I don't know about the second part. Okay. But we get to Rio. It's the last night that we're together, and he, like, the whole trip, he just keeps thinking about like this beautiful hotel room that we're gonna have in this very nice part of Rio. We get to the hotel, and he's like, all I want is just like, we've been having these tiny little beds. It's like, I just want like a really big bed to myself, a nice room with a view. Sheets. Yeah, there was no sheets before. Yeah. We check in, we go to the hotel room. Literally, it's just one queen bed. And Claude.
One queen in a bed.
One queen in a bed. And so like Claude, how do I say this politely? Loses his damn mind.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Claude, it's fine. Like, it's still an amazing, like, huge suite of hotel room. Great view of Ipanema. Like, beautiful, stunning. And also, like, we're used to, we've shared many a bed before. I'm like, it's fine. Like, I understand that it's frustrating, but, like, this is a beautiful room. We're also going to be out for like most of the day anyways, exploring.
Yeah, we're going to be the girls in Ipanema.
Exactly.
The girly pops of Ipanemas.
But he can't let it go.
Yeah.
So we go down to the front desk and he's like, you know, I paid for 2, you know, queen size beds and it's just one. And then I believe if I remember correctly, it was a mistake potentially on Claude's part where he didn't look at the fine details.
Right. It was sort of written in bold.
Yeah, exactly.
Right
so
top.
After going back and forth, I'm standing back, you know, just like letting it happen.
Of course.
They politely let him know that, you know, it was just one queen. And so then Claude's like, well, fine. Then is there any upgrades available? They say there's an upgrade available for like, I want to say $400. And
which is not so bad.
Not so bad, but we had already spent a pretty penny with this or whatever. And so he turned to me and he was like, I really want to do it. And I was like, I don't think like we're going to have a thing like $400 for this is like, for me, I'm like, I will do it. Like, I know that this is the thing that you want, but I was like, I don't think we really need to. And he was like,
that's supposed to get me through the next 3 weeks in Uruguay.
Exactly. And then I was like, but it was like very important to him. He was like truly on another level. So we spend the $400 extra. We get to we move our stuff. And by the way, like it is a whole thing moving all of our luggage because I don't pack light, as we've talked about.
Right.
And so then we finally move up a couple floors to this nicer room. Claude is like, we're going to have like the best night's sleep ever. We walk into the room. We immediately walk in, no view whatsoever. It's still just as big, but just like we're staring at like an alleyway and like a brick wall. Mm-hmm. And then we get to the beds. And the beds, there are 2 queen beds, in fact. But the space between these 2 beds, I want to say you'd be lucky if you could get a dime in between. So it's just... And that was the thing that was most important to him, was us having 2 separate beds. And now it was just one big... kind of, I mean, it was a mega bed.
Yeah.
So I just look at him, you know, and it's one of those moments where you're kind of like, I can't say anything right now because, and so I.
But I have no money left.
I have no money left. Yeah, exactly. So I sort of just go, and then he just looks at me and goes, don't. To which I actually did not. I just let it happen, and it was maybe the hardest I've ever laughed in my life, looking at those 2 beds after spending all that, you know, money for just one big bed.
A laugh and cry HODA KOTB moment.
Yeah, a laugh and cry. And also we were out for the whole rest. Like, you know, it was one of those things where it was like, we really were just, that's why I mean, I know that you agree more so with Claude here, which is you like a nice hotel room, but I
don't care. Actually with me, I don't do hotels very well. I feel like even if I'm spending.
Oh, do you do Airbnbs?
No, it takes me like that would be preferred. I prefer to feel like I'm in like a home type situation, but no matter where I go, I'm not sleeping the first 2-3 nights.
Yeah.
I just can't get comfortable. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what bed it is. If I'm in like a space where like other bodies have been, I cannot settle. I am such an empath. I'm so HODA.
You would be a nightmare you're just like in a hotel room, like I can't. The energy in this room, I have to. You just keep moving.
Totally. I'm actually on your side though, because I wouldn't want to pay any extra. I also think hotels are too expensive. I think they should be free. They should be free.
I agree.
I think they should pay you to go.
Honestly, like you're forcing us to sleep in these dirty sheets, and sure, you've cleaned them and, you know, ran like them through a wash of bleach.
Don't care. There's cum everywhere.
And I'm paying $400 to sleep in a cummy bed. Extra.
Exactly. Right. No, I'd like to know. I'd like to know where on the sheets the cum are.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
let me give me
I
a
don't
black
actually-
light.
I
I'd pay
don't-
$400
yeah.
extra for a black light so I know where the cum is.
No, I don't want to know because then
I know where to avoid. Actually, I know where to like put my.
yeah, you like
sort of
sleep in a
lick.
full S lick. Oh no.
Ew.
Yeah.
No, I think hotels are an absolute racket. I think they should be illegal.
Unless
I'm just going so far.
no,
in the
I
opposite
fully
direction.
where I'm kind of like I am just like I would rather spend my money on restaurants, the experience,
Totally.
adventures, and then like yes, I don't want to stay in like a shitty thing, but it's one of those things where it's like the price difference sometimes is like for a nice hotel is so astronomical that I just settle because I'm like in order to like really tell a difference, it's kind of like what they say about a bottle of wine. They say famously that a bottle of wine is $25 is good, and then after that, the only time you can really notice a difference is $75. So don't buy a $50 bottle of wine, only $25, or then if you want to notice an actual quality difference, $75.
Wow.
And that's how I feel about hotel rooms, which is like if you're spending like $300 on a like hotel room or something, like if you switch it to $500, it's still the same hotel room. It's only if you're going to like $1,000 a night, which like who has the money?
I agree.
We do, of course.
Of course, yeah. No, I mean we
Yeah.
could buy or sell any hotel,
Yeah.
but yeah, no. The purpose of a hotel is to not spend time there, to
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
hang your head at the end of the day, and that's like. Yeah, I don't need to spend more money on a hotel. I'm famously very, very cheap. I will spend money on
I don't think that about you, actually. I think you're very generous and you love to spend, like when you go to a restaurant, you're sort of like, let's order everything.
Yeah, sort of like the person you don't want to go to a restaurant with. But I order good food.
No, I'm saying you order good food, but I'm saying you're not like, I don't feel like you're like price conscious when you go to a restaurant. You're sort of like, let's get 5 appetizers, like all these share plates, dessert, drinks.
That's so true.
Yeah.
But if there's
Gracie
like,
Abrams.
yeah, but if there exactly.
That's what that song is about.
I'm so
I finally
Gracie
figured
Abrams.
it out.
Yeah, that's what we figured it out here. Now we know. No, but if I find out there was like something was like $2 off and I missed that opportunity. I'll think about it for the rest of my life. It will wake me up at night when I'm in a cheap hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'll sit up. I'll go.
Yeah,
I missed that sale.
yeah, exactly.
I love
it's
the sale. I love
6:02.
a
We
bargain.
missed the happy hour.
As you know, Costco is my favorite store.
I know. Yes.
Anyways.
Greg, we've talked far too long about me and hotels.
Oh, sure.
So how do you make HODA KOTB, corn on the KOTB, all about yourself?
Well, HODA KOTB, we've sort of touched on it already, but you know, my favorite thing about her is that she drinks wine in the morning on television, on national television. I will say, you know, that shocks some Americans, these judgy Americans, but you know, the woman has been up since 3 a.m.
Yeah.
10 a.m. is her happy hour.
Yeah.
You know, it's 10 a.m. somewhere. Yeah. That should be her shirt. That should be actually our new merch. It's 10 a.m. somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, so that gets me so, you know, makes me think about all the times that I've like ingested inappropriate things at inappropriate moments. And that brings me back to last summer.
Okay.
When I was lucky enough to go to the Charli XCX show at the Shrine.
You were on top of it too, because you went like the week she released.
The week that Brat came out. There was the Sweat Tour, which was like months later, but she did 2 shows. She did one in New York and one in LA at the Shrine. So it was an opportunity. There was a restaurant nearby called Holbox. It's sort of like a stand in like a
Holbox?
in a food court. Yeah, it looks like Hallbox.
Okay.
It's a spot in Mexico, but the restaurant is named after this area, and it's actually like very fancy, and I think it has like a Michelin star or something at this point. But it's essentially a food court.
Another reason why you're like, oh, I I'm like frugal or whatever. And I'm like, no, you go to nice restaurants.
I do go.
Yeah.
I will spend money on food.
Yeah.
And good food. I love to eat.
Yeah.
I'm a tourist. The famous thing.
Is that a thing of tourists is that they love to eat?
Yeah,
All
they
other
love
signs hate
to
eating.
eat. They really like to indulge. No,
This- not
no.
to-
I'm saying no. Some people don't understand food. Some
No, I
people
agree.
don't care about food, and I think that's really weird.
No, I know. And
It's no way to live.
But I disagree with you in the sense of like, I'm like, that is a kind of a bullshit part of astrology, I would say. You're going to get, where I'm like,
Tourists have taste, baby.
okay,
that's
okay,
food.
Sure,
music.
you could say taste, but then if it's like tourists love to eat, I'm kind of like, well, what is that? Like, that's like such one of those generic things that you could be like, like Aries love to breathe.
No, Aries love to annoy. Aries love to
And
point.
we excel. Yeah.
That.
We love to annoy Tauruses.
I will give you that. I will give you that. And that is astrology 101.
Okay, well, get back to your hole and bush.
Sure. So I'm at Whole Bush.
Yeah.
We have so it's kind of crowded because it's become this thing. It's on like 10 best of LA. Like it's really like a spot. So we were waiting. We maybe have like 30, maybe even 20 minutes, I want to say, until we have to get over to the shrine.
So the two of you.
That is also so the two of us. Unfortunately, it's not something that I like. I don't like it, and it's definitely not a tourist quality, or maybe it is.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we sort of love to push the limits of time and space.
Yeah. I have been, anyway, I'm sort of derailing.
Please.
But I feel like many a time I have had a rushed meal with you where it's like we have somewhere to be and we were supposed to be there 20 minutes ago and like we're just getting our appetizers. Yeah.
And we order more, and it's the most expensive meal you've ever had.
And
it's
you're
like
like,
the
this
finest
is, and it's
dining.
also the best food because you guys do know how to order. And so it's like you're supposed to be savoring this like amazing, expensive entree.
But you need to pop
and
it
you're just
in
like
and go.
opening your gullet and shoving it down.
Yeah,
and
I
then
need to pay as you're
and
eating.
while you're running to the thing that you're supposed to be at, you like, oh, that actually tasted good.
That's over.
Yeah,
All right?
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we have like 20, 30 minutes. And like, I will say, as much as I love to eat, I am not much of a bone person and I'm not much of a shell person. I
But
think
you
it's my
love
OCD, but I loved what? What would you like to
I was
say?
gonna say, I was gonna say, pick a bone. What is that phrase?
I have a bone to pick with all of you, actually, and we'll get to that later. I'm holding on to it till the time's right. Another tourist thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in the best of times, it's my OCD, it's my perfectionism. You know, perfectionism is a prison, as they say. So I have to get all the meat out, all off the bone. Best of times, I can't eat fast. I need my space. I need my time. So we have about 20, 30 minutes. I'm thinking I'm going to get like a tostada, like something sort of easy to eat. At this moment, Vat decides to order a whole lobster. Their specialty, a lobster.
That's so bad. Yeah.
We are running so low on time. A nice HODA
Opening act has
Kathy
already
Lee.
finished.
Oh, yeah. No opener. This is like her album release, essentially. Yeah, and we have to be there on that. Our friends graciously offered us these tickets, which are now retailing for like $500 on StubHub. Like really, really hard tickets. And he orders a lobster. Something that I can't eat in the best of times. So imagine when it comes out with the reddest sauce, the most garlicky thing you've ever imagined, and 5 minutes to spare.
And you're probably wearing all white.
I was, of course, wearing all white. And I'm also a person that has to wash their hands after even like seeing that.
Yeah.
So I made him like cracked the whole thing.
Yeah.
Had to speed eat a lobster, a garlicky red lobster, just mere moments before the Brat tour. And let me tell you, I was 365 burping that.
Yeah.
the whole show. The smells that it would take like a month to get off me. I was sort of eating and like rubbing over.
You like
me.
kept finding like no one's like around me in the crowd right now. Like I have so much space.
Yeah, those 365 party girls, they were turning their back to back to back to back to me.
Yeah.
Because I was stinking up the joint. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we were in the back of the room, but like I felt like I could see like every so often, like Charli would sort of like make a face, and she like didn't want to say anything, it was me.
This story is the least shocking story I've ever heard about you.
Yeah. Anyways,
should we take a break?
Let's do it. Welcome back. And it is time for Diva Down. Mm-hmm. Diva Down, of course, being our last segment where we give unsolicited gay guy specific advice to a person, place, or thing in the culture that really, really needs our help right now.
Can I just say your handwork as you were explaining was
I'm really handsy today.
Yeah.
Well, back to Diva Down, which of course this week is Hilaria Baldwin.
I started to say Hillary, but yes, you're right. Hilaria Baldwin.
Hilaria Baldwin, not remembering the English word for onion.
This, I will say, in a twist on this segment, she is a diva down, but I can't help but just salute this queen.
Admire the commitment to the bit.
Yes, because, okay, so for those uninitiated.
Actually, let's our diva down this week is Hillary from Boston.
You're so right.
Yeah.
And the reason why this woman is a diva down, but also a diva rising, in my opinion, is... Okay, to back up for everyone who doesn't know, Hilaria Boston.
Hilaria Boston, your hometown.
Yeah. She is Alec Baldwin's wife, second wife, maybe even third, I'm not sure.
Mother of his 83 new kids.
Yes. And she is from Boston, and it was exposed years ago for having a fake Spanish accent.
Claiming she lived in Spain for most of her childhood, was back and forth, when in fact she just grew up in Boston. Yeah.
And she got already called out for this years ago, and you would think that she would maybe stop and just like let her Boston accent fly. But she is doubling down. So much so that years later, as recently as a couple weeks ago, is out here on the internet teaching us how to make something with onions, and she can only remember the Spanish word cebollos.
But also with the most like thick accent. What they call cebollas. She's doing the full Castilian. She's doing how do you say work still, which I just
love.
I love it. Does this woman have friends?
I don't think she's too busy because she has 50 kids.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just so amazing it's so funny. Like,
I kind of think that this should have actually been the premise of Night Bitch. You have so many kids that all of a sudden you start thinking you're Spanish.
Right. But she was doing that well before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. I remember I used to take her yoga class in Yoga to the People in New York City. She was such a fixture.
And she had the accent then?
She did. I think the accent was certainly less thick.
Yeah.
She's put some real sauce on it over time. Lots of cebolla in there, in her sauce. And it was less. I think she was still sort of living as a very sort of Spanish person in New York City at the time, and that was sort of her identity. Yeah. But it's become more of her identity, especially in light of the true allegations that she grew up in Boston and barely spent time in Spain. My advice: release the book, Hillary. It's me, Hillary.
What happened?
Hillary. I think it's time. Come clean. Do release the book in plain English, no accent. We want to hear your story.
I disagree. Release the book, but like have there be a lot of THs.
Like tildes and NYs. Put inappropriate accents all over the book.
Yeah. A lot of how do you say.
Sure.
My advice.
The book could be called How Do You Say.
Okay, if you need a ghostwriter, we've got two right here.
Yes, except Tim never agrees to write anything.
I want to write a book with you, and you never. That's sort of where you sort of like switch the subject to.
Sure.
My advice is very similar, which is I actually, I'm like double down, triple down. Stop speaking English entirely.
Yeah.
Only speak Spanish.
Sure.
Because it's like, we're famous for second acts, third acts in our lives. Like people, everyone, what is it? What's that Patricia Heaton word?
Carol's second act.
Second act.
Yeah.
Hilaria's second act. We all deserve a second act, and you embrace that.
Yeah.
And now I'm ready for the third act.
Where she just steals Hillary Clinton's, like, everything. Walk in the woods.
Yeah.
What happened? ¿Qué pasa?
Yes, exactly. And I'm also like, I wouldn't be opposed to maybe just like waking up tomorrow and all of a sudden you're French.
Right.
Just like,
Right.
but then gaslight everyone to be like, I've always been French, completely, just starts. And she is someone who I do believe could and would speak in tongues.
Sure. Oh, definitely.
And that somehow she actually would somehow flawlessly know French.
Yeah, I think she is so
dedicated to the craft.
She believes it so hard. She believes the delusion so hard. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, or she's the greatest actress of our time, and no wonder Alec Baldwin is so smitten with her because he is also fantastic actor.
Yeah.
Accused murderer, sure.
Yeah.
Fantastic actor.
I mean,
constantly on SNL still.
Oh yeah, I know. Her book would be so good. ¿Qué pasa?
Her book, we need
How do you
the
say?
book. How do you say
Yeah.
a Hillary from Boston
Yeah.
novel?
Yeah, it's actually not a memoir, it's a novel.
It's a new like mystery series. But in every book she's taken on a new country of origin.
Yeah. Wow.
And the mystery is
in every book her husband is accused of murder.
for a different onset prop.
And she has at least 8 kids in each book. Yeah.
Totally. And with that, wow, what an episode.
What an episode.
I felt very, very Hoda and Kathy. Unhinged 4th hour.
Definitely. And a little Jenna Bush Hager as well.
What's that?
I'll tell you off pod.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with that.
Well, no, please subscribe, follow us
at Miss Thing the Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Tell all your friends. Please, if you like us, please rate and review on Apple, on Spotify, wherever you listen. And just spread the word.
And hi and goodbye, Cynthia.
We'll see you at the Academy Awards.
Yes. Bye.
Miss Thing Podcast is created, executive produced, and hosted by Greg Trimmer and Tim Zintek.
It's produced and edited by Benji Simons, with cover art and additional creative support by Claude Zines.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Miss Thing the Pod.
New episodes drop every Tuesday. Watch on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Please subscribe, rate, and review, but only raves. Strictly 5 stars and above.
Follow Greg at Greg Trimmer and Tim at Tim_Zintek on all social media.
BONK.